In this video, I'll be explaining how to use a website called Wix.com. So, to get to this site, you have to type in Wix, Wix.com. Wix is a website building site that is extremely easy to use. No coding knowledge is needed in order to put this site together. All of these different elements, all you're doing is putting them into your site, and you'll see that as we demonstrate that here today. So what you need to do first is you need to sign in. You need to create an account. If you have a Facebook or if you have a Google account already, you could simply click on that and then it will automatically sign you up and log you in. If you do not have one, you would need to click on the sign up button in order to create an account. So since I have a Google account already, I'm just going to click on continue with Google. Now that I'm in, since I've already worked in Wix before, this screen will probably be different than yours since this may be your first time. If it's not your first time, you'll have probably the same elements you see here, but to start a brand new website, you just have to hit the plus button. Once you hit the plus button, Wix has pre-built templates already for you for websites. So it's nice. What we're going to do now is to simply find a template that we would like to use. So I'm going to click on Other, and I'm going to start with Wix Editor. And it's going to take me here. And these are going to be all the templates that are available to me. And as I look through this, you can either choose a template that's already done, or what you can do is you can choose a blank template, which is right here. And that's what I'm going to demonstrate with, is a blank template. And there's different options here. What are you kind of looking for? What are you looking to do? If you just need enough information on one page, you could click on that. Now, we could always add more pages to the site if we want to. So you're kind of looking to see what would you like to have for a template. Now, for this one, I'm just going to go with the one-page layout. If I wanted to view it, I could hit the view button and then it would show me what it looked like online. But since I already know, I'm going to click the edit button. Usually the first time you log in, it may take a minute or two for it to load. That's normal. And then after that, it should pick up fairly quickly. Now that we're in, we can kind of see that Wix has already pre-built a template for us. Anything that you see on the screen here can be edited or deleted. So let's say that I don't want to have this paragraph here. I could click on it, hit the delete button, and I could really delete everything on this page if I want to. Now in Wix, there's some certain things you need to know when putting your website together. First off, you'll see that there's this dotted line that is throughout the site. Anything that is above this dotted line is called the header. And in the header, anything that's up here will show up on every single page. So if we wanted to add another page to the site, anything that is up here, you would see on every single page. Now, if you're putting a menu together, whenever you add a new page, which I'll demonstrate right now, add page, we'll just call it page 2 for now. You'll notice in our header, it's going to be added. So, this is why the menu needs to be up here so we can navigate amongst the site. The name of your site, you can put whatever you want in there as well. I'm going to go back to the home page here. And this is how you navigate from page to page. You click on this down arrow, click on the page you want to go edit, and go from there. Let's say that I wanted to delete this page. I could click on this button here, hit delete, and I could delete it if I wanted to. But for the time right now, I'm not going to do that. So that is the header. Then we have something known as the main body. Now that is this section in here between these two dotted lines. You don't want to put any content, any pictures, any text outside of those dotted lines, because if you do, then it's going to be very difficult for someone on a phone or someone that's looking on your site. If they have a smaller screen, they're going to have to use the scroll bar to see all of it. And Most of us have probably experienced that before, and it's not something we would like to do. So we want to make sure that we keep everything within the boundaries. If we scroll to the bottom, there is the footnote or the ending notes, which we would have anything that's below here. So again, anything that is in the footer below this line, it will always show up in every single page. So if that's like this site has social media sites, if I want people to be able to connect with that, there's an option for that, and that's what that information is. Okay, so we have the header, we have the main body, and we have the footer. Now let's start putting in some different elements. If you see at the top here, this is really just a bunch of tools that you could navigate to. This is the redo and undo button. You could zoom in. The most important thing you need to know about Wix is that you need to save your progress as you go from day to day in your work. So you want to make sure you hit save and get a free site. This is what we're looking to do. You can give it whatever name you like to have. So you want to make sure you give it a domain name and save it and be done. Now, if you're doing a project for school and no one else really needs to see it outside of school, I would not suggest publishing it. If you hit publish, that means now it's public, and public means that anyone can look up the site. So you don't need to publish it unless you want people outside of school to view it. In order to share your site with someone else, if you click on Site, Get Feedback, you'll notice here that it gives you a link. And if you copy that link, this link you can send to anybody, and they now can view your website directly. So if you're doing this for a teacher and they need to grade this, this is how you would share it with them. You would get the link. Alright, let's quickly move on to some of the tools. In this first one, and what's nice about Wix, it's really self-explanatory for the most part from here. The background, the add button are pretty much the only two buttons that you'll be using. There is some app markets, uploads, blogging, and bookings you can do, but probably for what you're doing in class or for a project, you really don't need to know that information. So background is simply that, finding a background that really matches the theme that you're looking to do. A new trend that is really going on with websites is they're using like a video as a background. So if I click on that option there for this video, if I want to see what that looks like live, I could click on the preview button, and then you'll see in the background how things are moving. So it really adds some depth to your website, makes it more interesting to look at. Obviously you can do your own images, you can use images that are already on here. It's really up to you on what you'd like that to do. You just want to make sure that you pick something that really complements what you're doing. And then we go to the add button. And I'm going to show you just a couple things on this, and you should be able to play around with it enough and understand how to do most of this. So a text, they're going to have different titles, they have paragraphs, and at any time you can, if you click on one, what happens is that it'll automatically come up here. If you want to edit the text, hit Edit Text, and then it gives you all the font options. You could add some different colors, some different effects. I mean, you can have a really nice site playing around with this. And again, if you don't like it, click on it, hit the delete key or backspace, and it'll delete it. So that is how you add text in a paragraph under the plus button or the add button. So there's a lot of cool options here. All right, images. Wix does provide some free images, some free clip art. Depending on the project and what you're doing, you can also get images from your Facebook, Instagram. I mean, there's a lot of different social media sites you can grab from. But if you want to add your own information, you just click on My Image Uploads. And then as you can see here, I already have pictures that are in here. Now, if I wanted to add a picture from my computer, I could click on the Upload Images button. I could locate a picture, open, and then it'll automatically upload it for me. Once I'm done, I click on the images that I want, add to pages. And there's my image. And I can resize it any way that I want it to go. You can crop it, you can throw some filters on it, you can animate it, you can link it up. What that means is that if I want, let's say I wanted to link this picture to the Golden State Warriors website, I could do that by clicking on that link button. I can now go to these different options here, a web address. I could go to their main website, paste it here, hit done, and then when I click this picture, it would take me there. So a lot of cool options you can do here. And it makes it so easy that you can just move things around to make it look really unique and sharp and professional in its look. One thing that you need to know is when you're adding a bunch of different elements is the arrange option. So let's say that this text is right here and we want it in front of the picture. We could right click, arrange, we can move forward, or if we want to bring it all the way to the front, we could hit bring to front and it's there. Another thing when you're doing your site, another thing that you should add when doing these things, there's a gallery, a slideshow, you can play with that later, a button. The big things that you should definitely be adding to your site is boxes, strips, and shapes. This is what really adds things to your site that really gives it a nice professional look to it. So let's say I wanted to add this box. So I click on it. Let's say I want to include this here. Right click, arrange, send to back. So now, as you can see, I mean it looks so much better than just having the picture and text on nothing. So play around with that. The last thing that I want to show, one of the last things I want to show is how can you add a video. Now you can, from my understanding, you can add your own videos, but the easiest thing to do is to have your videos on a YouTube channel or a Vimeo account. So let's say that I wanted to add a video from YouTube. So I could click on this YouTube link, this option, and then what should take place here it is. Here's the video. So let's say, obviously I want to change that out. Let's move this down here a bit. One other thing you need to know about Wix is that if you get to the point, oh, my entire website is filling up, I don't have enough space. Every time you drag an element, like a text box, picture, or video, the page automatically expands as well. So you don't have to worry so much about not having enough space because it will continue to grow and grow and grow. Alright, so video. So let's say I want to add a YouTube video, a highlight film, Stephen Curry. So I find the video that I would like to use. I click on share, and then I could copy this link. So I just copied it, Command C if you're using a Mac, Control C if you're using a PC. Go back here, change video. Let's delete the old link. Let's paste the new link, hit update, and there we go. So now when I hit preview, this is what my site looks like live, and if I hit the video, it's just like the YouTube video has just been implanted into my website. So again, there's a lot of cool things you can do with this. Play around with it. Again, the add button is where you'll find most of the stuff that you'll need to do, and add what you'd like to try. Try a lot of different things. This is web design. You're trying to create a site that looks really professional and sharp in whatever you're doing for your project or outside of school assignments. And again, make sure you hit save once you're done. Hit done. And if you don't want anyone to view it, and let's say you're sent to a teacher, again, you go to site, get feedback. You can share your site, copy the link, and send that to your teacher. Or if you want anyone to be able to view it, you could hit publish, and then whatever's on here is easy to see. Now, if you publish it, your site is brand new, so it's going to be extremely difficult for people to find your site. So I would just suggest maybe just sending the feedback button until your site has been up and running for a while. If you have any more questions about how to do some of this stuff, please let me know.